Also, shades of gray here, because Mercury with malefics can become malefic, and Moon, when is without light, also is considered malefic. For example, if Moon is between Krishna Ekadashi to the around Shukla Panchami, this can also be classified as a malefic. The worst are, of course, Chaturdashi, which is the 14th day of lunar moon, new moon, and the Pratipat, which is the first lunar day. So then the moon has no light, and there is a lot of Vata, there is a lot of Vayu in the moon, and this again can cause this problem, because the Vata, right, the Airy, is again Saturn Rahu. So this can deteriorate the things. This can bring disease, lack of wealth. This can make the elements go away, right? The Saturn Rahu, the storm may come again. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be answering a very interesting question from Halina Malek. Can you please explain the difference between the functional malefics and natural malefics in houses? This is quite broad topic and many things can be said here. This is also something which is taught in the Parashara Jyotish course in the year 3, I think, where the shlokas from Brihat Parashara Horashastra are explained: functional malefic, natural malefic, and various yogas which are involving them, because there can be also quite complex situation when one planet can, for example, lord the dusthana and kendra or kona. So there are such then strategies how to arrive at the final conclusion, what will happen, and how to apply this in the context of everything we know so far, like the karaka, arudas, and so on. I want to share a few thoughts regarding this topic, and if you have anything to add, please write me in the comments below. So we know that there is this division to a naisargika, which is natural malefic, and the tatkalika, which is temporal malefics, and these are based on the house position. So for example, if you are Cancer lagna, then Jupiter may be your temporal malefic because it lords the 6th house. So when it comes to this natural division, we know that planets in fiery and airy element are these bad guys. These are malefics. So fiery we have Sun, Mars, Ketu, and airy we have Saturn and Rahu. Now for the temporal division, this is also quite easy. You need to just understand the bad houses, and their lords are temporal malefics. So this will be 6, 8, and 12. These are the standard houses, the bad houses, we could say generally. They are called dusthana. Sometimes we are adding the 3rd house because the karaka of the 3rd house is also malefic, Mars. And we can also put that line between 1st and 7 and everything below. So the bad houses below 1st and 7, which is 3rd and 6th, they are more related to anger control, right? These are Mars karaka. And 8 and 12, these above, are more about the losses, about the debts. So the 8 and 12 are more the sadness. The Saturn is the karaka. We can add to this also the Badaka. So we did that before for a movable sign. If you have Ascendant in Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, then 11th house is your Badaka. For fixed sign, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, this would be 9th house. And for dual signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, this is the 7th house. So we need to understand natural malefics are those planets which are malefic in nature, fiery and airy. Sun, Mars, Ketu, Saturn, Rahu. These are malefics, natural. There are also shades of gray here, because Mercury with malefics can become malefic, and Moon, when is without light, also is considered malefic. For example, if Moon is between Krishna Ekadashi to the around Shukla Panchami, this can also be classified as a malefic. The worst are, of course, Chaturdashi, which is the 14th day of lunar moon, new moon, and the Pratipat, which is the first lunar day. So then the moon has no light, and there is a lot of vata, there is a lot of vayu in the moon, and this again can cause this problem because the vata, right, the Ari, is again Saturn Rahu. So this can deteriorate the things. This can bring disease, lack of wealth. This can make the elements go away, right? The Saturn Rahu, the storm may come again. Now, what I find interesting in those division is when we will go back to what we've learned about the difference between Lord and Karaka. This will be very useful because the Lord is showing the interaction, what you are doing, the whole dynamic. And those dynamic, whatever you do there, it may attract the substance which is inherently correlated to this activity. For example, 7th house is relationship. So the default relationship should have a Venus. Then we could say the person will enjoy the relationships. For business relationship, it must be Mercury. There must be some trade, right? If there is no trade, there is no business. If there is no love, the Venus, right? There is no intimate relationship. So each house will have karaka. So this is like role. So the house is showing the role, like mother is playing some role. If that role is well played and the child has good karma, he will become the moon from the mother. So he is becoming this motherness, we could say. So the mother should give you that care, right? The mother, the 4th lord, should give you that care. It not always happens. Sometimes the mother cannot give it because some emotional, psychological problems, because of lack of mother or other situation. And then in your chart also you can see which other people can play or give you that care which the mother should give you. Sometimes in the relationship you don't get Venus from your spouse, and sometimes you are getting this from other people, right? This may cause some affairs or some challenges, chaos, problems, and all that things. So you may have a chart which is triggering such problematic situations. So now what is interesting, if we think about gunas, there is the sattva, rajas, and tamas. There are 3 gunas which are listed in many Vedic scriptures, in Devi Bhagavatam, quite nicely described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, in Bhagavad Gita. So we could say this is the Vedic psychology, and many people are using these divisions to explain many phenomena in psychology or even Ayurveda, in health. And also we use that in astrology, because here at play we have this holistic, universal element of Vedas spreading its knowledge to all its branches. So if you are rejecting the tamas, then we could say the vulgar behavior, then we could say you are ethical, you are cultural. Now, if you reject the rajas, Mercury and Venus, then already you are quite, we could say, if you restrict it a little bit, we could say you are also cultural, maybe religious, maybe spiritual. But if you fully reject it, then we can say you are renounced, you are like a monk. So this is more this Asian or Christian type of spirituality, not so popular now, right? Because now so-called spiritual people, they want to have blessings from all gunas, right? They want to have the sattva, rajas, all sensual enjoyment and also the spiritual enjoyment. They also are saying that this spiritual things like mantra meditation will also give you rajas, like wealth and so on. And if you even reject the sattva guna, then you are transcending, this is we are already here talking about the pure spirituality when person is transcending even the world of the devas. Okay guys, if you like this video so far, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. You are helping those videos to spread more on this YouTube platform. Join our Discord community below, subscribe to be always informed when the new videos are coming up. And now let's go back to this philosophical ramblings about the difference between natural and temporal malefics. And also, this is important because in this context, we can say that the 6th, 8th, and 12 houses and lords, this is your free will, your actions, which can provoke or trigger this Mars and Saturn and Rahu for Bhava-karaka, right? Because for 3rd and 6th, we have Mars. Conflicts can come. Mercury is somehow related to 6, can cause greed. There are shadripus, weaknesses. So the 6th house is provoking such weaknesses. And there is this interaction. There is the whole dynamic. So we could say that whatever is in the 3rd house, 6th house, 8 and 12 and the lords, this is how you are acting there. Of course, there is the limit of action because you are put into some machine. It's not like Locke said, tabula rasa. We are already in machines, so there are some resources. And there are, of course, also mental resources. We have some limits. Limits to our patience, limits to our strength, mental strength. Of course, those limits can be prolonged by good association, by Sangha, and by some kind of metaphysical elements like mantra, meditation and so on, but nevertheless, without going to such, we could say, spiritual extensions, there are limits. We are in the machine with the very much, we could say, psychological makeup. And also you can be thrown not only into this psychological situation, but also in that external situation. You may have karma, because karma is controlling both internal and external parts of life. You can be thrown into some conflicts. You may have conflicts with people, you may attract some accidents, right? You may attract such situations because of the karma. This is, we could say, the consequence of the karmic astrology or event-based astrology, that it's not only the potentials, strengths, and so on, but it's also, it controls the positive, but also the negative sides of our life. So the external situation, according to this view, is also in the hands of karma and can be read through our chart. That is the difference between the Vedic and humanistic astrology. So we could say that those houses, what you are doing there, can invite the Mars or Saturn. So the Mars or Saturn are the final thing. They are like on the end. They are the triggers. Bad Gunas in 6 or 8 or 12, then you may then invite Mars. You may have conflicts. You may have disease. For example, if you have nice planets, right, the 6th house can flip, just like Bhava-karaka can flip. If you have benefics there, it can turn into upachaya. It can give you purity, nice community, nice service. If there are malefics or problematic situation, then the 6th house will show its dusthana way, and then the Mars and Saturn will come. So these are like magnets, right? The Lord and the karaka, this is trigger, and which karaka will be triggered by your action and the karma of actions within that house. For example, if you have Jupiter in 6th, then the Prashnamarga says that you don't have any enmity, right? You are enemy-less. That's very good. And if you have Saturn in 6th from Arudha like that, then you may have problems with alcohol or other drugs or intoxicants, addictions. So then there is high chance that the Saturn as the substance, because the karaka is the substance. It's like a blessings. It's something also which is objective, right? The 6th Lord is only for you, and the karaka, the natural malefic, this is for everyone. If there is a bomb yoga like Mars Rahu, or if there is some poison yoga like Sun and Rahu, then this will be experienced by everyone there. But the 6th or 8th or 12th Lord, this is your experience and what you are doing to trigger such situation. So there are many karakas, and those karakas, those planets, can either be like magnet and can trigger and attract those negative situations, experience of Mars and Saturn, or sometimes you have the power and you have the chart, right? Of course, you did something in previous life, in the past, to have this chart. So for some people, it's easier to control those doors which can bring the negative experience in our life. Because our whole life is, we try to protect ourselves from Mars and Saturn, and we don't want disease, we don't want any conflicts, we want to have basically the power of knowledge and health, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, comfort, and we want to have rajas, we want to have super career life and super relationship, in that we are competing, right? Especially in that hyper individualist capitalist societies, people are put into this very individual mental space where they are fighting. It may not be natural to our body and how we act psychologically. It may be some superficial superstructure. Also, there is a problem with the rajas, right? The enmity can also be sugar-coated. We have this 4 types of strategy. We have this sattvic, which is the compromise. We have also this rajasic, which means that I need to give compliments or some gifts. Then we have this aggression, open aggression, and manipulation. So again, fiery and airy, those strategies are more tamasic. They are showing the open conflict or some rule and divide trajectories of war. And there could be some process going on. So therefore, these houses and lords, this temporal malefics, they are showing all those processes and what you are doing about them, what is the dynamic which can end with something bad like Mars and Saturn. So the Mars and Saturn, the natural malefics, they are the outcome, they are the final place if you somehow miss all those opportunities to defend yourself from those negative things of 6 and 8. So in that 6 and 8 and 12, there are still possibilities which are protecting you from this Mars and Saturn. Like said, Jupiter in the 6th is protecting you from enmity, from Mars. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this somehow have enriched your Jyotish knowledge. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you'd like to have one-on-one session related to reading your chart, you can find the email in the description. Join our community on the Discord. Don't forget to subscribe with the bell notification on. And if you'd like to see more videos, then please consider watching this one.